Hey guys, it's IO Activate. Just wanted to say a special hello. Just wanted to say almost a happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Just wanted to say a special thank you for helping us get through 2025. I know 2025 was so beautiful. We had our ups, we had our downs, we had our lefts, and we had our rights. And sometimes we were right, sometimes we were wrong. It takes a real individual to realize that sometimes we're wrong, but we grow from it. We sit here and we grow. And that's what life has been, just nothing about progress without Congress. If you get the joke, you get the joke, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to life, you also got to take the hits as signs of growth. Without growth, there's no progress. And without progress, there's no success. And in order to be successful, you have to be willing to lose sometimes. And in the endeavors of life, when I wrote the book of Io, I took a lot of losses. I took a lot of losses that were personal, a lot of losses that were really easily assimilated to how the book could have been better. It could have been worse. But when I wrote that idea with the book, I sat down and I thought about, what if that was me? What if I was the character that really necessarily needed to stand out in the aspect when it comes to music? When it comes to robots don't have any feelings. They're artificial beings, I guess you would say. Not sentient beings, because they don't have a sense of life just yet. And that's where the AI conversation starts coming in. When I wrote this book for Io, I sat down and I thought about the concept of as if, what would happen if a creation or a robot, in a way, or something that had something of sentimental value towards us, would eventually grow a sentimental value towards something we're passionate about. Maybe some of us are passionate about art, some of us are passionate about music. Some of us are passionate about cooking as well, but imagine you had a personal, individual friend that you could personally have a part of, where you would create and you would go ahead and say, hey, I want you to just be like me. But sometimes asking for that is not as easy as it seems. Sometimes we leave a good legacy or a good portrayal of ourselves on an individual. So sometimes an individual would look at us and be like, I would like to be like you. Not like you exactly, but something that about you makes me want to be like you. So with the concept of Io was created by Sebastian. Sebastian was Io's owner, or creator. Not owner, sorry. I don't like to put ownership on stuff like that. He was the creator of Io, and Sebastian wanted to be a really big music producer. So what happened was, Sebastian wished hard enough, and by the miracle, he received the gift, and that gift was Io. Io is a robot that was created out of nowhere. Nobody knows. I can't really tell you too much. When you read the book, we can sit down and ask more questions. But when it came to Io was different. Io saw something in Sebastian that Io couldn't see in anybody else, or see in anybody else. Just like Sebastian couldn't see anything else portraying his inner self more than Io. So as you progress in the book, you start realizing more about how Io and Sebastian are a lot more similar. As the continuation of the character starts growing, where the character needs to start learning how to be not selfish, but more, they need to be outspoken. It's hard to compete with other people that have the same dreams as you. So when I always talk about, sorry, just being attentive. When it comes to being different, you also have to stand out. And when you stand out, you can't blend in no more. And people try to blend in with you, and when it comes to music, everybody wants to sound the same. That's why we have all these artists out there that think that they're the best because they're different, when we kind of stole somebody else's flow. I try to mix all my different styles of music to reflect my character in the book, and when you read the book, you start noticing why my music's so different, why different storylines are being portrayed. If you really listen to the music, you're gonna start realizing that there's not just one Io in the book. There's multiple in the music, different storylines, and you really got to pay attention to the songs, because different characters are each one. I can only tell you one right now, but Io in Burnout is a different Io than Io in Abduction Alley. Those are two different characters, but they do have a similar timeline. So the more you read the book, you start understanding the world of Io. World of Io, guys, check it out. I promise you, it'd be the best Christmas present you can ever give yourself, or maybe an early birthday present. But I do know one thing: 2026 is the beginning of the world of Io. We're living this time, and people are starting to see that this is not just a concept anymore. We're living to see the change of everything. and we have to witness it firsthand, not just in imagination, but in our physical eyes. And this book, World of Io, is the proof that we're going to see those times, and within the next 10 years we will see Io walking around. You see these other bots, yeah, they're test bots. The Tesla bots they're pretty cool. I like them. The MEO, I think that's the other one. That one's pretty dope, but at the end of the day, it's not really gonna be something that stands out. It's just something to kind of distract us from what could actually be. And as we're getting closer to the quantum leap theory, you know, not trying to get too deep into it so early, we're gonna understand the singularity. There you go, that's what it was. The singularity by 2045, but Io should be around in the next 10 years, which would be the 2030s. And we're already seeing a lot of progress. So the more you know, the more we can discuss. But if you want to give it a chance, I'd recommend it. It'd be the best investment of your life. You're seeing something that people dream about, people talk about, grow in front of you. Don't be the person that misses history as it's being written in front of you. Join the wave today. Leave your likes, comments, posts, any comments you want to discuss, we can discuss about. Any feedback from the book, we can work on that too. Any criticisms, I'm so down for criticism. Let me know what you think about the World of Io. I could tell you a little bit more later, just not right now. I could talk about some of the characters tomorrow, a little bit some knowledge as to where the story's pertaining to, how the Pro DJ tournament is going to be something that we're going to be seeing within the next 10 years, especially with a lot of live music artists, a lot of artificial characters, because you're starting to see with Timbaland and all these AI artists. So the World of Io is not far off. There has to be a middle. It can't just be here and then there. There has to be the middle, and we're the middle right now, guys. Let's sit down and talk, and let's change the world together. This is Io Activate signing off. Thank you. Have a great day.